Morning and welcome to my back garden. To my right, my old setup. To my left, the new setup. There's much going on lots of camping groups about what do I get, what's better, is this a good upgrade, is this isn't. I'm just going to run through what I've upgraded my old setup to my new setup and the reasons why. So the Banshee 300, not only does that have oodles of space inside for my bag, my mat, and I can shove all my gear, but you also have one vestibule this side and another vestibule on the other side. So again, great for storing your boots, doing a little bit of cooking outside while you're tucked up in there. What I also really liked about the Banshee was so simple to set up. You've got one pole there, one pole there, little yellow tab, little red tab. On the bends of these poles here, they're even color coded so you know which end goes in which. So now inside your tent, you can actually see how much space there really is. Now my sleep system, I use the Trekology UL80 mat, bargain, 80 quid off Amazon. Only issue with it is not particularly good when it comes to the winter, no R rating. Snugpak sleeping bag, I loved this originally. I loved the smell of it. It just felt like I was a kid camping again. Nice and warm. Problem is I found I used it as more of a quilt. Good down to about -2, 30 quid bargain off eBay. So the highlights, Vango Banshee, 90 quid off Facebook. The Trekology mat, 40, not 80 pounds, as I said earlier, off Amazon. And the sleeping bag, 30 quid off eBay. Giving us a total of around 70, what's that, 160 quid for a setup fee. Not too bad. Only issue I had with it was the pack size, which you'll see in a bit, and also the weight of it. So the tent was coming out at 3.2 kilos. The sleeping bag was at 1.8 and the mat at 500. So it's about 4.5 kilos. It's not massive, but by the time you've then added the weight of your bag, which at the time I was using was 2.5 kilos, that's quite a lot to start trudging around up and down the hills when you've put all your other stuff in. And now the new boy in the kit, the Otimos Nomad. Lots of talk about this and how good it is, lots of videos on it, and yeah, this is just another video about how good it is. But it's not just that, it's actually an upgrade for me from that and the stuff that I've learned from being out and about, and I figured what is important to me. Now I will be honest, this was not my first choice of upgrade. I originally wanted the Nortent Vern 1. I put an order in, it was Black Friday deal, 375 quid. Waiting for it to turn up, it was on a long back order. I realised that actually it may be a bit overkill for what I wanted and what I needed. I didn't need that level of quality of tent for severe extreme Norwegian style weather. I don't go out in that. In my heart, I always wanted this. My head said Nortent. I cancelled the order on the Nortent, ordered this one. I've been happy with it since. Now some of the features that I've liked when I've used the Otimos, one of the main ones is this here, the little vestibule area. The fact that there's a nice little bag in effect that I can put my bag in it, keep it off the ground in the wet, which is something the Banshee doesn't have, and it just gives it that layer of protection. I love the fact just inside here you've got one vent and you've got another vent just there. But I can actually access this vent, open and close it from the inside, which I think is great. It is smaller than the Banshee, it's a 1.5 man tent. But I don't feel inside like I'm in a coffin. There's still enough space for myself and for the little one just here. You know, we both snuggle in here quite nicely. I like up on top where you've got a good contact with the tent through that pole there. I've been in both tents through some horrible sort of thunderstorms and some heavy rain unexpectedly. And within the Otimos, I felt safe. I didn't feel like it was going to fly away and take off. There was one time in that Banshee, I felt like I had to spread eagle across that floor to make sure the wind didn't pick me up and lift me off and away. The only snag that I do have with the Otimos is, and it's great that you've got this lovely clip for the door, I just wish it was more up here maybe, or a way of fastening it here. So I find this quite often unravels itself through the evening, as you can see. So inside the tent, even though it's 1.5 man, we're not compromised on space. Like I said, it doesn't feel like a coffin. There's plenty of space. Even he can snuggle up in here quite happily. Good head height. You know, I'm 6'2". I'm not yet touching that ceiling, so that's good. Sleep system wise, the first thing you notice is this massive quilt, UL 850. It lofts beautifully. It is so snug. I've never felt so cozy and had such a good night's sleep in with this system. Attachments for straps to go around the back. I do wriggle a lot while I'm asleep, so I haven't bothered putting them on. Toe box down here, which can be adjusted from there. Again, I like to have my feet sticking out. I don't like hot, sweaty feet while I'm trying to sleep. Packs down very small, weighs in at about 800 grams, so a lot lighter than the Snugpak sleeping bag. Underneath is the Alpkit Radiant 7.2R pad. Inflates with the pump sack, makes life a lot easier. With the Trekology I'm using basically my mouth to blow it up. Now a lot of people say the foil inside is quite rustly. To be honest with you, it hasn't put me off from sleeping whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, as long as I'm warm and I'm comfy, I get a good night's sleep. Pack size and weight were a big consideration when upgrading my kit. As you can see to the left with the new kit, fits easily into a much smaller bag, making just a quick one-nighter so much easier to do. So everybody wants a decent setup when it comes to camping, but it's one of those things that I've learned, the more I do it, I begin to know what it is that I like and what I wish for. For me, I wanted to bring my pack weight down and more importantly, my pack size down. So that was coming in at 4.5 kilos. This setup with the tent is I think 1.8. 800 grams for the bag gives us what, 2.6. The mat is slightly heavier than the Trekology one, about 750 grams. So I think that's coming in at just over 3 kilos. Now it is a lot more spenny. The tent is a 300 pounds. The quilt, I will be honest, sorry Otimos, again, Facebook, 180 quid. Not even been used, I had to get it, it was a bargain. And the mat, the pad rather, was 75 quid on a Black Friday deal through Alpkit. It's a little bit more expensive, but I'm far happier and a lot more comfortable in that setup. Now that gives me confidence when I'm going out further on longer hikes and longer walks.